Bro, I've been sitting in this car for about 2 hours now because I refuse to go inside and be with my wife. Like, I hate her that much.
Hello besties, so today's video is about men coming out to state that they hate their wives, or how you yourself can know if your husband hates you or your boyfriend. I've compiled some stitches where we can learn it or two, and I'll be back to share my 2 cents.
The only reason why I'm with her is because I'm broke and I don't have nowhere else to go. Like, I can't afford the rent on my own, and she makes more money than me. So, I mean, if I was to get a good job tomorrow, I'd be gone just like that, with a woman I really want. But I can't afford the woman I want, so I gotta settle for her. Literally. If we're being honest, I think I'm doing her a favor, because she got low self-esteem anyway, and she bad built, so she should be lucky that I'm with her, if that makes sense. So I don't feel guilty about it, but I mean, some gotta give, because I can't keep doing this. Like, I could be with somebody I really want, but I refuse to do more. I'm kind of comfortable with.
Sometimes your biggest hater is your husband. Let me tell you why. This woman made a video where she shared that her husband of 17 years told her that the biggest mistake he ever made was getting married to her. And she has to make peace with the fact that her husband never liked her. She was with this man for 20 years, married for 17. They have children together. They have a home together. And this man told her that the biggest mistake he ever made was getting married to her. What was even crazier was the fact that there were women in the comment section saying that they have experienced the exact same thing. So many women had similar experiences. This is an epidemic. Women are finding out that these men do not like them, but they got married to them. They had children with them. They bought homes together. They have investments together, and they never liked those women. This is one of the most diabolical things to experience. Finding out that the person you've spent over 20 years with never liked you, and he had the gall, the audacity to tell her that the biggest mistake he ever made was getting married to her. She even shared that she was jumping through hoops to get this man to see her, to value her. She tried to show interest in his hobbies, but no matter what she did, he despised her. It is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking listening to women share their experiences with these men. It is also terrifying because you can't help but think, what could those men have done to them in those relationships? Because if you don't know that you're sleeping with the enemy, then you're probably unaware of ways this person could probably try to unalive you. There's things this person could have done to harm you. I mean, apart from the emotional torture, there's things he could have physically done to harm you, because deep down, he cannot stand the fact that you are in his life. But he's still living with you. It is honestly scary right now to think how many women are in relationships with men that straight up hate them.
Sit here on my lunch break. I've came to the conclusion that today I'm going to ask my wife for a divorce. I've been married to my wife for 5 years. She's taking care of most of the household bills, household duties. She's helped me a lot in a lot of ways, but I just feel like we've outgrown each other. I feel like how we should have been is not how we were in the beginning. I feel like she just doesn't pay attention to my feelings. She just doesn't understand me as a man. And it's such a sad thing because we got 2 beautiful kids, and it's just like I've had this thought in my head for like the past 6 months, and I've left mentally, but now it's just time to do it physically. And I think today is going to be the day that I ask my wife for a divorce. So if you guys don't see me on here for a while, just wish me luck. Hopefully everything goes well. Yeah.
So the other day, my husband, who I've been married to for 17 years, but am now going to be divorcing, told me that marrying me was the biggest mistake he's made in his life. And I responded to it with like sarcasm and kind of snark, like marrying me, I'm the biggest mistake that you've ever made. Because that's how I usually have responded to those types of comments that he makes over the years. But later on, afterward, I kind of sat in my room and I actually cried. I cried about it, like sobbed, actually. And I thought to myself that this is actually a good sign, because I have spent so many years in our marriage listening to comments like that. You know, you've ruined my life. You took all my money. You're the worst person. And I've like numbed myself to it over the years. Like I just kind of numbed myself or made excuses like, oh, he's just stressed, he's angry, or he's, going through a lot. And I just kind of went along with it and but to get through it, I just kind of had to numb myself. And I guess in a way, like had to diminish my own humanity to not let these things get to me so I wouldn't like fall apart. I had 2 kids to raise, a family to keep going. Like I couldn't afford to be hurt. You know what I mean? Now that I don't want to be married anymore, I am really telling myself that it's time for me to reclaim my humanity. And that means that there's going to be things that are going to be said to me that are going to hurt me. And I'm going to go ahead and like absorb that hurt. I'm going to feel the feelings. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not going to intellectualize. I'm just going to feel it. Let my emotions freely flow. And if that means I cry, I cry. If that means I get angry, I get angry. I'm going to feel again. I'm going to be a human being again. And that's probably one of the things I'm looking forward to in this entire process is I just want to be a person again.
Let's be honest. If a man really hates you, he's not going to always come right out and say it. But his actions scream it. His actions will tell the truth every single time. So here are 4 signs that he really hates you. And again, ladies, pay attention. Number 1, he's always disrespecting you. Not once or twice, but always. He calls you out your name. He talks down to you. He makes slick comments that cut deep. If he can't respect you, he doesn't love you. Point blank. Number 2, he makes you feel like you are a burden. You text him, he takes hours to text back, or hell, he doesn't even respond. When you ask for his time or attention, suddenly you are too needy. But if he wants something from you, you better jump. Yeah, that's hate in disguise. Number 3, he embarrasses you in public. He flirts with other women in front of you. He talks reckless about your business, or he even acts like you're not even there. A man who loves you protects your dignity. He doesn't destroy it. Number 4, he shows 0 effort to make things better. Every relationship has its own problems, but if he sits back and watches you do all the work while you cry, he doesn't care. Someone who loves you will fight for you. They won't make you fight alone. Stop making excuses for a man who's showing you with his actions that he doesn't even like you, let alone love you. You deserve better than someone who treats you like an option, or even better yet, an enemy.
Getting married has really taught me how many men actually really hate their wives, because I can't tell you how many men I've heard in my life just talk about and dog shit on their wives and how their wife makes them do this and my wife's taking me to this little shit or whatever. And I will tell you right now, and my friends will feel some type of way about this, I don't want to hang out with anyone more than my wife. And that even goes for my closest friends, because I love y'all. I love seeing y'all. But like, if my wife wants to go do something, I'm going to be so real. I'm going to go do it. Because my wife is actually dope. My wife is funny as fuck. She just says like the funniest shit ever. It's like the dumbest shit you've ever heard in your life. But it's so fucking funny. And she's so fucking fun. And I'm like, I don't understand why so many people hate their wives. I don't get it. I don't know. Can't relate.
Most of you ladies are not ready for this debate, but I can guarantee you that most men out there do not like or love their partner, girlfriend, wives, whatever. Most of them actually hate them. But just because they're super rational in the way they think, they get into a relationship just because it's a convenient thing for them. Most men are with you just by pure convenience. So if you pay 50-50, by 50-50 I mean 30-70, 80-20, whatever. If you pay the basic needs in the household, he uses you. Whether you like it or not, argue with yourself, I don't really care. But your man doesn't like you if he makes you pay.
I'm gonna have to agree with the women on this one. A lot of you men do hate your wives. I'm 27 years old. I worked a lot of jobs where men just complain about not wanting to go home. We had this one fella at my job. He doesn't work there no more. But he's talking about his pregnant wife. Is there anything I could do at work to stay here because she's pregnant? She gets on my nerves. Like, y'all hate y'all partners that much? I'm married. I can't wait to get off work to go back to my wife. So y'all always just want to gaslight women and talking about women just be talking, women this, women that. But if you really think about it, they be saying some facts sometimes. I like to give credit where credit is due. Y'all men need to start picking better partners. And if you hate women in general, you don't gotta get married to them.
I'ma just say it right here, right now. Majority of men hate their wives, innit? I'ma be 100% honest, because you know when they joke to you about, you don't want to get married, mate, or your life's gonna go downhill from the second you get married, mate. Yeah, they cover it up with a bit of humour, but really and truly, we know deep down, like, you know, you meant what you said, innit? And I did overhear this one conversation, yeah, this guy, he just sounded like he just hated his wives with all his guts, bro. I just couldn't believe it. I was thinking to myself, like, why would you get married in the first place then? Obviously, not to say that all men hate their wives, innit? But there's a huge majority, I believe it's a majority, of men that hate their wives with their guts. And they're just there, like, they have no other option but to stay there within the marriage.
My husband recently abandoned me and our 3 daughters just 3 months ago. Apparently because I'm fat, ugly, and boring. And while I may not be all those 3 things, maybe I'm 2, but definitely not the 3. I realized as a counselor in practice and now in the social work field that sometimes the people that are there to help us are going through something, are broken themselves. And there are times where I didn't realize, like maybe I went to a pastor, or there are people who go to a counselor, a therapist, a spiritual helper, their parents, a teacher, and they don't realize or don't think that maybe this person is dealing with their own suffering. I don't think you ever sit in front of a therapist and think like, I wonder if they're broken. I wonder if they're going through some suffering or grief. And we forget about that. And I think now that I'm in this position, I think maybe the person that I'm going to seek out to help me could be going through the same or maybe even worse than what I'm going through. But the only way out of this, the only person that can really help me is God. Yes, social workers are amazing, teachers are amazing, therapists are amazing, and they serve a purpose. But you're never going to go to God and God say, you know what, I'm too broken to help you with this. Or God's never going to have a bias in his mind because of past trauma. Or God is not going to say, you know what, I'm dealing with a lot of grief. Maybe I can't help you today. Or, he's just never going to be too broken to help you. God is not broken at all. And he's the only person that we can truly go to that's never going to have a bias, that's never going to reject us, that's never going to be too tired, too overwhelmed, too stressed, too sad to be there for us. And as humans, we fall into overwhelm, we fall into sadness, and God doesn't. God is always going to be there to hear us, and he's going to be the person to give us the best advice, to guide us. No human can guide our lives like Jesus can. And when my husband left, I made a decision, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to cope through this? Do I need therapy? I mean, as a counselor, do I need therapy? I know what to do. I have coping skills, but the one person that's going to get me and my kids through this is God. And I'm super thankful about that. And I just hope that the people that I'm serving as a social worker, as a counselor, never think that I am like above suffering, because I'm not.
So besties, there are some uncomfortable conversation that we avoid to speak about, almost forbidden to say out loud. Some married men admit quietly or even privately that they are no longer in love with their wives. Sometimes, not that they hate them, not that they want to destroy the marriage, but the romantic love that once existed is now gone. And before we get defensive or assume this is about blaming women or attacking marriage, this is about understanding something real that happens in a long-term relationship. Because love doesn't always disappear overnight. Sometimes it slowly slips away. While two people are still living under the same roof, they raise children together, even attend family functions, share pictures together, but emotionally, something has changed. So let's talk about some of the reasons why some men hate their wife. One of the biggest reasons is emotional dissatisfaction. Instead of communicating, they feel unheard or unappreciated. They withdraw internally. Conversations become shutting. Emotional vulnerability disappears. And when emotional connection disappears, romantic love often follows. Another reason is unresolved resentment. Resentment doesn't arrive at a time. It builds quietly over time through small disappointment, repeated arguments, or feeling misunderstood. When appreciation is replaced by criticism, whether intentional or not, admiration begins to fade. And admiration is the key ingredient of romantic attraction. Without admiration, love begins to feel like a responsibility instead of desire. At the beginning of the relationship, people are often curious about each other, trying to find out things about each other. They ask questions, they listen deeply, they notice every small details about one another. But over the years, curiosity is often replaced by assumption. Partners stop discovering each other. Slowly, two people shift from lovers to co-workers managing life. And without intentional efforts, emotional intimacy fades. Some of these men feel that marriage and responsibility slowly changes who they are. They stop pursuing passion, friendships, or personal growth. But here is an important truth. Sometimes, love isn't completely gone. It's just buried under years of neglect. Love is not only a feeling, it's a practice. It's something that you must choose every single day. Some people believe that once they are married, then that's the end of it. No, love is something that you choose every day. You determine that I'm going to love this person. Long-term relationships such as marriage requires effort, curiosity, emotional honesty, and intentional connection. Without these ingredients, even strong relationship can slowly become emotionally empty. There is also societal pressure that keeps many men silent. They fear judgment. They fear being seen as ungrateful. They fear hurting their partners. So instead of communicating honestly, they withdraw emotionally. But avoiding honest conversation creates distance that grows larger over time. And while this topic focuses on men, the reality is that emotional disconnect often affects both partners. Some men say they hate their wives, but the real question is, what are you doing about it? Staying in a marriage filled with resentment while acting cold, distant, or disrespectful is actually not strength. It is avoidance. If you feel anger every time you see your partner, you need to stop pretending everything is fine and face the truth, because you will be doing both of you a favor. It's either you communicate honestly or work towards fixing what is broken, or accept that the relationship may need a serious change. Sometimes, what feels like hatred is actually frustration with your own life, stress, and unmet expectations. Some men just hate the fact that their wives are doing better than them. They want to be the head, they want to be the provider, but because they are not capable, the hatred just naturally grows in them. And it's not supposed to be. As a man, speak honestly, set boundaries, seek help if needed. Mature men confront problems directly. They do not hide behind resentment. So check yourself today. Why do you hate your wife? And if you think that is something that can be amended, please work towards it. And if not, please do yourself a favor by seeking a divorce or seeking a higher help. Because living with someone you hate every day and night, it's not good. It's not even okay for you. We have come to the end of today's video. I would like to know your thoughts in the comment section. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Till I see you on another video. Have an amazing day. Bye.